What do you think? Hello everybody and welcome to Kai Keys. Now, if there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I absolutely love French cars. I love how they're styled, I love the weird technology that never works, that they implement in them, and most of all, I just love how they're different. So what happens when you get a bunch of Frenchmen around a table, you give them as much Orangina as they can drink and you give them more baguettes than they know what to do with, and you say, make me a car. I'll tell you what you get, ladies and gentlemen. You get one of these. This is a Renault Twizy. That stands for Twin Mobility, and basically the Renault Twizy is, as you can see, a tiny little electric car. Well, it's actually technically a heavy quadricycle. Now there's two versions of these. In Europe, there's a 5 horsepower version, which kids as young as 14 can drive. This is the more grown-up version, packing a whopping 17 brake horsepower. Can do just over 50 miles per hour, and it is absolutely incredible. So today we're going to take the Twizzy out for a little bit of a test drive, but not only that, I've got a few errands I need to do. So we're going to see how well the Twizzy does as a proper daily driver. Let's get this show on the road. So everyone wants to know why the Renault Twizy instead of anything else.
So I've got an ordinary practical family car, but they're just bonkers. They look incredibly amazing and futuristic, and it's like driving a concept car everywhere. The other thing is, practically, I get no road tax. It costs me 50p to fully recharge it. I can plug it in at my own house and I don't have to take it anywhere to do that kind of thing as well. And I can drive into the centre of Manchester and back to get myself to work and back. So it's saved me kind of the risks of when we do low emissions zone in this area, which I'm sure is going to happen. It means I'm not going to have to pay a fortune in kind of tax to get to work on a daily basis. So
absolutely. So despite the fact that on first appearance it looks bonkers and impractical, in certain usage cases like yours it actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's I've found it's actually it's a good drive. And the other thing I noticed is I get stuck in a lot of traffic jams in my ordinary car anyway. So typically I don't need something that does 200 miles an hour, but I do need something that can comfortably do 10 miles an hour in a traffic jam over a long distance. And it's perfect for that kind of thing. So I actually keep up with a lot of the normal traffic. No one's going any faster than I am most of the time. I'm just as comfortable as everybody, but I'm having a lot more fun. Especially
if you're driving, around cities, so you commute to Manchester, so you're not really doing massively long distance incredibly quickly or anything. So a small car like that seems to work perfectly for you then, really.
Yeah, it's taken a bit of planning. So I have to, it takes me about an hour to get in to the centre of Manchester, and I've learned pretty much every A road and B road between here and there, because you've got to kind of think about how to get round, the rest of the traffic that's going on. But the nice thing is, with it being electric, if I'm not moving, I'm not eating any power. When I'm in my diesel, it was standing there, still chugging away, still eating fuel, still costing me money.
If you need to get in at rush hour, then you can end up using an awful lot of diesel. And how much did you say it costs you to run?
So 50p will fully charge it.
Wow.
Which is amazing, and that's like 3.5 hours. That's 6 kilowatt battery. So and that will get me from here to Manchester United football ground and back.
Yes.
On a single charge. So it's that's quite a long range, quite 40 miles in real usable space.
That makes an awful lot of sense to me. So here we are, Twizzy, first impressions. Let's make sure you can see what I can see. Right. Here is the bag. I'll put on my long-suffering associate's lap. Here we are. I mean, right, for one person, this isn't too bad. But as a two-seater, it's not ideal. I don't really know what you can see because there's no headroom in here. There we go. A little bit unceremonious. Right, so today we have a few little tasks to do. Chief of which is helping me Nan with the shopping. So let's turn on the Twizzy. I'm sure she'll love this because it's the perfect size for getting to the shops. Put it in drive and off we go. In the McLaren F1 driving positioned Renault Twizy. I also have to remember to do these as well. I do think I know where my Nans is from here. Hello. I was supposed to be thanking him, but I waved at him instead. I don't think he'll mind. Here we are on the mean streets of Wigan. They've never seen out like this, I can tell you. My knees are kind of making love to the dashboard right now. How are your legs, Ethan? Can I move back at all?
You can move them back a bit. I don't know how far you'll get, but my knees are currently making love to you.
I'm used to that anyway. I mean, this is just an absolutely surreal experience. I've never driven anything quite like it, and although I've driven this for about 15 minutes to get to where we were recording the video, the novelty still hasn't worn off. Everything about this car is strange. Obviously it's French, so it's going to be, but it's weird French. Considering it's got 17 brake horsepower, it's really not bad at taking off, and that's on account of the fact that it weighs less than half a ton. I mean, that's our foot to the floor. And we're back at, I don't know why it said stop. We're now at, you know, cruising speed. It's objectively very nippy. There's just this immense motor whine from the back. It's very loud, almost like he's looking, almost like driving a jet plane. It feels like. It feels akin to sort of like the Le Mans cars, where they've got those straight cut gears and they whine. Obviously, the suspension's very crashy, so it really does feel like a race car for the road. As I'm saying, I'm sure my Nan will absolutely love it. Let's see what people think of it. Morning. Do you like it? Cheers. See, people absolutely love this vehicle. Kikes on the road. I don't know how many people we've already talked to quite a few people. People just kind of come up to this stop and ask what it is. It's just tremendous fun. We've got a bizarre handbrake as well. It's a hand actuated handbrake. I mean, obviously it's a handbrake, but there's not really anywhere to put it. You can't really put it down the side of the seat, so I suppose you could, but so they decided to put it underneath the dashboard. And yet again, I didn't think I'd use it much. I didn't think that I'd like it, but it comes to hand quite naturally. Everything in this vehicle feels wrong, yet somehow right. Like, it's not a traditional car as such, but you can kind of get used to it. The first time I was driving this, obviously about half an hour ago, it felt like I had to kind of learn how to drive one of these, because it doesn't really drive exactly like anything you've ever driven. So Renault's kind of design philosophy with this really was, you know, let's make a vehicle that's perfect for people who live in cities, towns, people who need something very tiny that they can get around everywhere and commute. And I think they really aced it. These things didn't really sell particularly well. I think this may well be the only one in the Greater Manchester area. There's a few down south where the infrastructure is sufficient, but currently, you know, further up north, even still, there's not too many electric charging points. Bear in mind that the Renault Twizy came out in the tail end of 2011, 2012, and at its time, it was actually the best-selling 100% electric plug-in vehicle on the market. Now, that doesn't show that the Renault Twizy sold well. What it does show is that there really weren't many fully electric vehicles around at the time. I mean, really, the only predecessor to this which had any real market, well, any sales at all, was the Riva G Wiz, which was horrendously dangerous and just not as good as one of these in any way. Speaking of safety, actually, look, these things have got a Euro NCAP 2 star, which, yes, it's not fantastic, but this vehicle has been in a crash with an HGV where it came off essentially unscathed. The owner, Theo, was alive and well, and it's a hell of a lot safer and more comfortable than a motorcycle. That being said, this one is privileged enough to have doors and windows. The doors are actually optional, and these windows have had to be ordered in from abroad because they are not very easy to find. And it is fairly weatherproof. I'm getting a little bit of an updraft, but I'm not entirely certain that the door has been latched properly. But it's weatherproof, and I thought we'd have a lot more wind noise in the cabin. We've not really been over 30 miles an hour, but it is not bad at all. So range, Theo, as you heard in the interview, works in Manchester and drives there and back on a single charge. She's quite impressive. It says we've got about 30 miles or so, and we've probably done about 6-7 miles. So I think a range of 40 miles, if you're being economical, is probably about right. See, he's like a proto-useless version of us on his bike. Some people look really happy to see this, and some people, it seems to make them angry. Like, there was that van driver earlier who like threw his arms up, and he seemed genuinely irate. Disadvantages of the Twizy: despite its size, it can't really, obviously it can't lane filter. So, you know, you don't really have the mobility of a motorcycle. On the plus side, it is small, so parking's an absolute breeze. Also, the seat on this does not recline. That being said, Theo has had it retrimmed in this quite gorgeous red leather. They had that done from some chaps in Colombia, and they have done a good job. This is a comfortable place to sit. Well, aside from the fact that my knees are, as I said, making love to the dashboard. I feel very, very vulnerable. Kaiki's crotch shot. I have to make direct eye contact with a taxi driver now. Obviously, considering it's a glass cocoon, visibility is quite impressive. It's also just incredibly narrow. I love the indicators. They're fantastic. There we are, and away we go. Yeah, the speed bumps around here are a little bit ropey, and these brakes are not servo assisted, so they take some getting used to. Plus, because Ethan's in the back and I'm wearing these ridiculous shoes, I can't really push the brake pedal firmly down. So the Renault Twizy actually appears to make a lot of financial sense for Theo to take into Manchester. Obviously, they were planning on implementing a clean air zone around here, and they very well may go through with that at some point in the future. And he doesn't have to worry about paying a tenner each time he drives into Manchester, if that ever comes into fruition, because it's an electric car. It's 50p to charge, and it will get him to and from work. So that's 50p a day, 0 road tax. Of course, you have to, you know, account for insurance, but it's certainly not prohibitive on a vehicle like this. Here we are, approaching my nan's residence. Right, we're gonna do some shopping for me nan. Stay tuned. Train Twizzy on tracks. Baby Twizzy. Come on, Nan.
All right.
We're going to take you shopping.
You are a good boy for me, taking me shopping.
I've been told that this is very easy to get in and out of, you know.
And I'm getting all right.
There you go. Give that a go. I'll take that. I'll take your bag. It's a very dignified entry, I've been told. There you go. Are you good? There you go. Yes. I'll hop in now. It's very graceful. I'm just going to move the seat back a little bit, if that's okay. I don't want to squish you. How's that? Are you okay there?
Yes, I can manage.
Right. Why are you talking like that? Just talk normally. I've forgotten how to... Right, we've got to give it... There we go. Oh no, one of the bungee cords appears to have snapped. Off we go. Whoops. Yeah, the GoPro's just fallen off.
Yeah, it's only...
That's alright.
Faster.
Off we go to the shops. What do you think? It's weird, isn't it?
Yes, but it's all right. It's quite comfortable.
I mean, once you're in, it's not too bad.
No.
Would you own one of these?
Yes, yes.
You think?
Yes, I don't suppose it would be so expensive to run either.
Oh, that's right. They're very cheap to run.
Yes, so that's will do the job for me. Yes, I've got my driving licence.
It's got a very loud horn. I've forgotten how to get out. We returned from shopping to find the car surrounded by the residents of Wigan. Right, Nan, that's your shopping done. Let's get back in the Twizzy. Oh no, there's no room for you. I've got your shopping. Yeah, the shopping can't walk. See you at the house. Perfect for doing the shopping for your Nan, although your Nan might need to get the bus back. So we've managed to fit an apple, 2 eggs and a can of Vimto in the back of this. And it all fit in there without too much of a hassle. They're looking, they like it. So that's the shopping done for me Nan. As you saw, the perfect vehicle to do such activities in. Feeling a little bit peckish, so I'm feeling a Mickey D's. And which way am I going?
Left.
Left.
The Renault Twizy comes with an onboard direction giver.
Yes, that's a factory option actually.
They all look like me.
Fishy sat nav. Sat nav?
Right.
It's not a very good sat nav, I must say. A little bit laggy. You have to kind of remind it sometimes where we're going. Oh, it's weird because obviously it's an electric car. I don't know why I was just expecting it to change gear. It doesn't have gears, obviously. She loves the car. Proper turn in her head. See, there's a Tesla. That's a big, silly version of this. No one needs a car that big. This is all anyone needs. Oh, speed bumps. Why don't I just go through the middle of them? Pretty much sail over the things. The one thing I can't get used to is those drive neutral reverse buttons, and I don't know why, because an awful lot of trucks I drive have those. It's just a personal thing, but then I don't know what the alternative is. Yeah, if I ever get to the point, so the cheapest one of these cars on Auto Trader right now is £4,000. Do I think that's excessively expensive for what essentially amounts to a toy? Yes, but if your usage scenario allows you to actually use one of these things as a daily, then I think that it actually makes quite a bit of sense. Thank you. Yeah, they're small. Yeah, they're mostly impractical. I still don't know where my Nan is, but what's important is that it's fantastic fun. And I don't think anyone actually buys one of these for anything aside from fun. But for £4,000, if you can justify it and if you can actually use it, I say go for it. Must be fairly uncomfortable in the winter. Theo has fit a heated steering wheel cover on, which keeps his hands nice and warm, because like we were saying earlier, there's not actually that much wind coming in. There's a little bit, but it's weatherproof and it's mostly windproof. I feel like some kind of like granddad on steroids driving this. The logical evolution of a shop mobility scooter. And it is wonderful. See, the other good thing about the Renault Twizy is because these doors are kind of temporary and these are optional, they're not really hardwired in, I can hear exactly what they're saying. It's a very interesting conversation. They're talking about Wigan matters. How many pies they had for breakfast this morning. He had 6. There we are. Quite a queue, I must say. All right. Not bad, thanks. Thank you very much. Cheers. Pardon?
Rocket League. Yeah, they look like something off Rocket League.
I'm taking that as a compliment. Do you know what it is?
Turbo boosters at the back there.
Do you know what it is?
What?
It's a Renault Twizy.
Is it?
It is indeed. It's fantastic. It's not mine, as you can tell by we're doing a video. So I've took me Nan shopping in it. It was her all the shopping, so she's still walking back home, I think. And then I thought I'd get myself some lunch.
Might as well.
I bet you don't get many of these going through, do you?
No. To be fair, we normally get people coming in like mobility scooters.
Really?
As well.
This is the big mobility scooter.
Basically, yeah. I think with windshield wipers on it.
Yes.
I think you're the first customer that's come through with this car. Yeah, you are.
It's fantastic.
You'll get a lot of staff coming through.
I bet. See, I think if you're in a vehicle like this, you have to be in a good mood. You have to be a people person, because I can imagine that if you've had a rubbish day and if all the conditions are against you, this would be the most miserable place in the world to be in. But seeming as I'm in a nice mood, it's an alright summer's day, I've got my nice shirt on, I'm having a nice time, and everyone seems to be quite genuinely nice about it, you know? They like what they're seeing. That woman just said, "Oh my God, what is that?" I think that was a positive. Oh my God. Oh my God's a positive, right? I've got to buy one of these, man. It's living up to the expectations and then blowing them out of the water by how fantastic this is. Just nothing negative to say. Surprisingly composed, fun to drive. You're not breaking any speed limits, but you know, handles direct. It's rear wheel drive, as if that matters at 30 miles an hour. But my God, it's just stupendous fun. Don't know if it'd ever get old. I've genuinely not had any negative reactions from the thing. They've all been very positive. This is the future. It's like those Wall-E pods where everyone kind of sits in them all day. It's not really quite a car as such. They have to open their door for some reason to order, and I feel that I might have to do that to get the food. So I'm only ordering a rather small portions. I think that's all that will fit in the car. 2 double cheeseburgers is about our limit. 1 Big Mac and 1 more Big Mac. Hi, could I just get 2 double cheeseburgers, please? And could I have one of them with extra gherkins? That's it, thanks. Great, cheers. You can see there the camera that he's installed, the rear view. It's one of the only problems really with this car. There's no rear window, so although it's very short, you can't actually see behind you as such. Hello. What do you think of the car, I've got to ask?
It's beautiful.
Thank you, that sounded sincere.
Is it comfy?
You know what? Surprisingly, we've had 2 of us in. There's a seat at the back, and with 2, no. But with 1 person, it's all right.
Tight in the back.
It's a bit of a squeeze.
Yeah. I mean, I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Have a nice day.
Cheers. You too. I think it might be a struggle to get both burgers in. By the way, I have to plug this, but if you want to see me review some more wacky and wonderful cars, then please drop a subscribe, because we're a very small channel if you haven't noticed, and at this point it really, really does help. Don't want to bring it up again. Let's get back to the review. I can't wait to have my burger. This is the only car I've been in with realistic dual armrests. That's quite nice. See, this parrot system, apparently this was a factory option. This vehicle does actually have speakers, 1 here and 1 here, so you've got dual Bluetooth speakers. It doesn't really have a head unit as such, and the actual parrot holder appears to have fallen off. This is the little module that controls the, there we go, that controls that. They're all a little bit old school now, but you can connect your phone to them and they're still usable. But yeah, it's a tad antiquated nowadays. But let's be honest, if you're driving one of these, you probably don't really want to hear the music, because you want to hear people's reactions, people saying, "I love your car, it's cute, it's fantastic." This gets more attention than a Lamborghini, and that attention is positive. Someone sees a Lamborghini driving down the road, what a knob. Someone sees one of these driving down the road, what a knob, but like in a cool way, you know. Plus, actually, you don't need music, because you can make your own little beat to that. And we're still on more than half a charge, and we've been using this thing for quite some time.
It's the doubles.
It is, yeah. Thank you very much. Cheers. Oh, she didn't seem very happy. Probably because she's not in a Twizzy. I mean, when I started Kikes, I can't say I had much social confidence, but if I can drive a Renault Twizy wearing a GoPro through a McDonald's car park, then and eat a burger in POV, then by all means I can do pretty much anything to do with cars now. You know when you go to the doctor and you say, oh, I've got anxiety, I'm scared of social confrontations, they should prescribe you one of those.
It does put you in a lot of those positions.
It forces you to be social, because you cannot just keep your head straight forward, because people will like inquisitively look through the window, and then if you make eye contact with someone, they will certainly make eye contact with you. It's probably also very good if you're single. I mean, admittedly, if you hook up with someone, you can't really take them home as such, but it gets the attention. Can you envisage one of these wrapped in a Kikes livery?
Almost certainly.
I adore it. Just enjoying the Wigan ambience of emergency sirens.
Do you reckon they're here for us?
They may be. I'm just overcompensating for the length of this thing. Ha ha ha, that's what she said. But it's 2 meters long, and I'm trying to reverse it almost like it's a truck, thinking, oh, I'm close, shut up. Thinking, oh, I'm close to this, and I'm nowhere near it. I'm going to wind the window. I say wind. I'm going to open the bank teller flaps, just to gauge people's reactions. All right. Do you like the car? Thank you. His Hyundai's not too bad either. What do you think? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? A bad thing. Thank you. Thank you very much. But they're getting a bus. So who's the real winner? Thank you. See, they've changed the tune very quickly. They like it now.
Maybe they remembered they were getting the bus.
Quite possibly. Let's go through here. Let's see where this ends up. Straight through the middle of Wigan town centre. A lot of people here. Thank you. They're laughing at it. They like it. I think the laughs are a good thing. Do you like it? It's a Renault Twizy. Yes. There's 2 of us in it as well. Hello. Little bit uncomfortable, but people love it. Do you reckon we beat him at the lights? Do you like it?
Yeah, how much is this, bro?
You can get it for about $4,000. It's not mine, but
Go.
yeah. We're gapping him. He doesn't know we're racing him, but we're winning. Right, Peter! I love it!
You see in the Mondeo, I'd assume you just ran over a toddler.
Yes. In this, no, it's not even a pothole. It's a minor imperfection in the road surface. Shall we just park it next to that truck for dramatic effect? So everyone, there you have it, the Renault Twizy. Absolutely bonkers, but just absolutely phenomenal fun. I've never had this much fun in a car. It's silly, but it's a genuinely fantastic vehicle to drive. If your usage case actually allows for driving one of these, I would say get on Auto Trader, go down to your nearest Twizzy and just snatch the buyer's hand off if you have the money to spare. because I'm telling you now, this thing gets more attention than a Bugatti or a Lamborghini. You'll have a hell of a lot more fun driving it through town centres, and it's God in car form, quite frankly. So anyway, I really hope that you've enjoyed today's video. I know that I have. So like and subscribe, because if you do, we can hopefully review some more bizarre vehicles like this. It really does help. And thank you very much, and we will see you in the next video.